What do you think the plan is, Ross? We go out there and check the depths and...
Yeah, let's try to find some of those deeper holes, and let's just pop a bunch of holes.
Sounds great. We'll look for some of them depressions and that this lake is noted for.
Yep. Eight feet. Seven feet. Seven two. We're still on the flat. You know, when you're drilling your holes here, we're using really light line. We're using 2-pound leaders because we're just getting more bites on it. So what I like to do is drill, when I know I'm in a spot I'm probably going to fish, I'll drill another hole really close and I'll actually run my transducer in it. That way I don't have to worry about wrapping around it. So I can scoop out this hole, don't have to worry about kind of being rough on it, and move on. So that's a good little tip when you're using light line for panfish, or even when you're fishing big fish like walleyes.
How you doing on those fish over there, Ross? You finding any?
You know, I just moved here a few feet and I had some weeds, just some string weeds showing up on the flasher. And I think I had a fish there in the screen for just a second, but I don't know, they might be just tight to the bottom here. I can't get them to come up and chase. How about you?
Just keep working them around. I've had a few little flickers, like you said, on the bottom there, and I just can't seem to get them to move up onto my jig yet. But give it some time here, and we'll, if not, we'll start moving around and just go searching.
You know, yesterday, when that bite was pretty good, we were catching them on some bigger stuff, and then when it slowed down, we downsized. We got a few extra bites. I started with a kind of small jig, but we may have to even go smaller.
Yeah, we might have to go to some micro jigs today with this kind of high pressure that's here on us in this sun. Not a lot of snow cover on the ice. Maybe they're not liking that as well.
They can be finicky, that's for sure. Whoa! Craig, I just made a little adjustment here. I went with a little bit different, a little flatter teardrop there. You can see how it sits in my hand and it falls a lot slower. And again, big old bluegills through the ice. Oh wait, oh look at that. Maybe we don't go anywhere. I can't catch a fish. Do you have a swing and a miss, Craig?
No. Pretty fussy. He's coming up. He's coming up. There he is.
Nice. So are we calling a largemouth, or we got a gill?
I'm pretty sure it's a bluegill, and
you know, Craig, you just made that change. Did you switch from a smaller plastic, or what did you do?
I went to a smaller profile jig. I took that 4mm tungsten off and put a really small a 2.5 tungsten on with just a single rear hooked maggot, and they were there on the bottom, and they're pretty negative actually. That one took a lot of coaxing to get it to actually hit. I see there's a few more down there. Maybe we can get a little bit of a pattern started here and see if we can't figure them out.
Every pattern starts with one fish.
Exactly.
So when you get those fish, like, you know, I'm working one right now, and I'm working, he's staying on me. I actually felt him and he bumped me. What has been your best thing to trigger that strike instead of just a
I really like to pound the jig real hard and really short up and down movements, trying not to move the end of your tip maybe more than 3/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch, and then just stop it and slowly raise it, and then jiggle it again a little bit and pound it up some more.
A lot of times
it's been working good for me today.
Yeah, a lot of times your strike will come when you just start to lift that
right
after the pause, right? I still am working this fish, and you know, we're both using 2-pound blood run fluorocarbon, and you know, a lot of our main line is actually monofilament, right?
Right.
And we're using that because we're actually going to get a slower fall rate. It's not going to sink because fluorocarbon line will sink. So you've got probably the same as me, just a couple foot section of that blood run fluorocarbon in there.
Exactly. I think that monofilament lets the jig hang a little bit more. A lot of people have went to complete all straight fluorocarbons, and fluorocarbons actually sink. I think the combination of monofilament and splicing a fluorocarbon leader on makes a pretty versatile package. And again, I think that monofilament helps the jig kind of hang a little longer in the water column, and it's sort of letting a more natural presentation occur.
That's a nice bluegill right there.
Yeah, that's definitely a little better fish.
The only ice we've seen has been in drinks for the last couple of years, for the most part. I mean, there were some guys that did some fishing, and you went up to Simcoe, north of Toronto. But even then, I mean, you know, it's not worth getting in trouble over. You really got to be conscious with the safety stuff out here.
Yeah, ice safety, whether it's a small body of water or a large body of water, is key.
You know, a couple of things that we do is, I mean, and you know, you're no different. We've got these creepers on. And having a good pair of creepers, not a junky pair, I mean, it makes a big difference if you've got to quickly walk, or just me and you when we're punching holes and moving from spot to spot. You know, the other thing's having a spud bar, right? Being able to chisel and just check your spot.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't really understand is ice doesn't freeze all at the same rate, depending upon bodies of water, whether there's plankton or air, or you know,
little
gases,
springs, like on this lake.
excreting from soft bottom bays, which in a lot of these mesotrophic lakes and such that we fish here in the Midwest, there's a lot of that happening. And you know, each lake is different, so can't really stress enough, you really got to be careful about ice safety, and make sure you're using your spud and going with a buddy, making sure you're having safety provisions, whether it's a rope or even as much as a life jacket or something in your
Right.
sled.
Well, you know, we're definitely not first ice here by any stretch of the imagination, and we had a friend of ours check this ice before we even came out a couple days ago. But like you said, a life jacket, you know, they've got those things you can put around your neck or around your wrists with little spikes to help pull you out, a rope. I mean, those are all things at first ice that are almost mandatory, really.
Right.
I mean, a spud bar is something you should always have with you, but that other stuff is like, I mean, guaranteed.
Exactly. Don't forget, fishing with a buddy is a good thing to have. Just definitely, that's a great safety precaution in itself.
Well, I mean, we kind of joke and say it's suicide to go ice fishing by yourself, but I mean, in some places it almost literally could be.
Exactly.
Bass?
Yeah.
Little largy?
I think I got a little bass on.
That's got that rod double over. That is a bluegill. I'd like to have it.
Wrong kind of bluegill, but still kind of fun.
You know, Craig, we caught quite a few of those yesterday. It's kind of weird them not catching any until now. And what do we have between the two of us? Almost 20?
Yeah, we had a lot of them yesterday. Definitely makes me think about the bite a little bit today, but all in all, it was still kind of fun to have it on for a moment.